In the last video, we talked about ETFs, how one share gives you ownership in 500 companies. Today, we go deeper, because knowing what an ETF is and knowing how to use it to build serious wealth are two very different things. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what an index fund is, why Warren Buffett put it in his will, how to choose the right one for your goals, and the one number that determines whether you'll retire rich or just break even. That one number is something 95% of investors completely ignore. Stay with me, because this is the video that changes how you think about money for the rest of your life.
Let's start with the basics. An index fund is a fund that tracks a market index. That's it. A market index is simply a list of companies grouped together to represent a part of the economy. The Nifty 50 is a list of the 50 largest companies on the NSE, companies like Reliance, TCS, HDFC Bank, Infosys, ICICI Bank. The S&P 500 is a list of the 500 largest companies in the United States: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla. When you buy an index fund or its exchange-traded version, the index ETF, you are buying a tiny slice of every single company on that list in one purchase, one click, one transaction. The index fund doesn't try to beat the market, it is the market. And that, as we'll see, is exactly why it wins.
Here's the question every investor needs to understand. Should you try to beat the market, or should you just be the market? Active investing means hiring a fund manager or picking stocks yourself and trying to outperform the index. Sounds great in theory. Here's what the data says. According to S&P Global's SPIVA report, over a 20-year period, more than 90% of actively managed large-cap funds in India underperform the Nifty 50. In the United States, over 92% of active funds underperform the S&P 500 over 20 years. In the UK and Australia, the numbers are almost identical. Think about that. You pay a fund manager 1.5% to 2.5% of your money every year, and 9 out of 10 times, a simple index fund that charges as little as 0.04% beats them. This is the core argument for index investing. Not that active managers are bad people, but that markets are remarkably efficient. It is extremely difficult, consistently over decades, to beat the collective intelligence of millions of buyers and sellers setting prices every second.
Now stay with me for the next 3 minutes, because I'm going to show you the one number that will determine your entire financial future, and it's hiding in plain sight on every fund's fact sheet. Most investors never read it. The ones who do retire wealthy.
That number is the expense ratio. The expense ratio is the annual fee charged by the fund, expressed as a percentage of your total investment. It gets deducted automatically from your returns every single year, whether the market goes up or down. Let me show you what this means in real money. Say you invest 10,000 rupees per month for 30 years. The Nifty 50 delivers 12% annually. Watch what happens to your final wealth purely on the fee. At 0.04% expense ratio, a Nifty B's index ETF, your final corpus is approximately 3.49 crore. At 0.5% expense ratio, a slightly more expensive ETF, your final corpus drops to 3.28 crore. At 1.5% expense ratio, a typical actively managed mutual fund, your final corpus falls to 2.73 crore. At 2.5% expense ratio, some active funds charge this, your final corpus is only 2.27 crore. That is a difference of 1.22 crore rupees over 30 years from fees alone. The fund with 2.5% fees costs you 1.22 crore rupees in wealth on the exact same market returns. This is the number that matters, not the fund manager's face on the billboard, not the star rating in the newspaper, the expense ratio. In India, the best index ETFs charge between 0.04% and 0.20%. In the United States, Vanguard's VOO charges 0.03%. In the UK, the iShares Core FTSE 100 ETF charges 0.07%. In Australia, the Vanguard Australian Shares ETF charges 0.07%. In Canada, the iShares Core S&P 500 ETF charges 0.10%. Wherever you are in the world, always start by looking at the expense ratio.
Now, let's talk about the different types of index funds, because not all index funds are the same. Broad market index funds track the entire market: Nifty 50, Nifty 500, S&P 500. These are the best starting point for 99% of investors. Maximum diversification, lowest cost. Sectoral index funds track one industry, like Nifty Bank, Nifty IT, or Nifty Pharma in India. Higher potential returns in boom periods, but much higher risk, only for investors who already have a core broad market position. International index funds give you exposure to foreign markets. For Indian investors, the Motilal Oswal S&P 500 ETF and the Mirae Asset NYSE FANG Plus ETF give U.S. exposure. This is important for diversification because your salary, your house, and your career are already tied to the Indian economy. Debt index funds track government or corporate bond indices. Lower return than equity, but much lower volatility. Useful as your portfolio grows and you want to reduce risk.
Here is a simple portfolio framework for Indian investors based on age. If you are under 35, 80% in Nifty 50 ETF, 20% in Motilal Oswal S&P 500 ETF. Pure equity. Maximum compounding time. If you are 35 to 50, 70% Nifty 50 ETF, 15% S&P 500 ETF, 15% debt index fund. Starting to reduce risk. If you are above 50, 50% equity index ETFs, 50% debt index funds, protecting what you've built. This is a simple three-fund portfolio approach, popularized in the United States by Vanguard's founder John Bogle, adapted for Indian investors using Indian-listed ETFs. One SIP per ETF, same date every month. Never stop. Never change during a crash.
Warren Buffett, the world's most successful active investor, has publicly stated that for most people, a low-cost S&P 500 index fund is the best investment they can make. In his letter to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders, he shared exactly what he has instructed for his own estate: 90% in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, 10% in short-term government bonds. The best active investor in history is telling you not to do active investing. That should tell you everything.
Here is what to do this week. 1. Find the expense ratio of every fund you currently own. Write it down. 2. If any fund charges more than 0.5%, research the equivalent index ETF. 3. Open a SIP in a Nifty 50 ETF if you haven't already, even 500 rupees per month. Start today. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. Search for index fund investing on the Grow Your Wealth channel for the full playlist.